So George Santos is still sitting right there with you. He could have been sent out of that building tonight, but Republicans protected him.
That's right. In fact, what the Republicans did is that they filed a motion to refer George Santos to the Ethics Committee, as you said. The same resolution that was to be voted on today, that was ultimately referred to the Ethics Committee, had already been referred to the Ethics Committee on February 9th. And if the Republicans and Kevin McCarthy actually wanted to hold George Santos's feet to the fire, if any of their words meant anything today, there were many ways that they could have done it. None of those ways includes doing what they did, which is essentially a complete cop-out, punting this resolution to avoid an up or down vote on whether or not to expel George Santos. And you heard Congressman D'Esposito say on the House floor that he supports expelling George Santos. Well, if you support expelling George Santos, then why don't you convince your leadership to take an up or down vote on whether or not he should be expelled? You are avoiding the issue, and that is exactly what this Republican Party did. And what essentially they're saying is we are siding with George Santos in making sure that he remains in Congress.
This is an audience that understands parliamentary procedure in the House and the Senate, and they can't be fooled into thinking that there is any Republican in the House of Representatives who actually supports expelling George Santos. None of them do. They all had a chance to do it. None of them participated in it. They're all very clearly holding on to him. And if you're looking for proof, if you're kind of looking around trying to figure out what was this vote really about, how did George Santos vote?
Oh, I'm sure he voted to support it, just like he voted
George
to...
Santos voted to send the expulsion resolution to the Ethics Committee because it was the Protect George Santos Day by the Republicans on the House floor.
That's right, Lawrence. And there, as you know, and as a parliamentary expert, there are many ways that the Speaker and the Republicans could have held George Santos to account. But what they did is they punted it to the Ethics Committee, and we all know the Ethics Committee is going to wait until DOJ plays out. So this was a way of avoiding having to take a difficult vote on whether or not to expel George Santos, because everybody knows that someone who is a complete fraud, who deceived all of his voters to become a member of Congress, who is admitted to committing fraud in Brazil, who's been charged with a variety of different fraud counts here, does not belong in Congress. But the Republicans want him to stay in Congress because all they care about is his power. And so they want to avoid accountability for keeping him in Congress to the best of their ability. But you and your viewers, and certainly we on the Democratic side, see right through it.
So Kevin McCarthy now has George Santos's vote in the House of Representatives until the criminal case against George Santos reaches a verdict, which could be basically the rest of George Santos's current term.
Yeah, these things traditionally could take at least a year. And we don't know what's going to happen with the George Santos indictment. But what is very clear is, based on the Republicans' move today, they are not going to take any action against George Santos until his criminal case is resolved. They will talk all about how they want an ethics report, they want it to move quickly, and all this stuff. It's not going to move quickly. It has been paused and will be paused to defer to the Department of Justice. If they wanted to move it quickly, they could have postponed the resolution for 30 days or 60 days when they would expect a report back from the Ethics Committee. They did not do that because they want George Santos simply to stay in Congress.